Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Jay Moore. I'm your healthy accountant, and we are here on today's enlightenment program. And I just want to thank you so much for joining me. And I'm going to jump right into this topic of account for what you have. And I'm probably not going to be talking about what you think I'm talking about, but account for what you have. And I've been doing a lot of study lately, just studying of myself, studying of what's around me, studying of really who I am and what I have. And, I realized that, through this study that we all have three major components in our life. That is our life. I'm sorry. That is our life. Three major components. And I'm going to tell you what these components are, and then I'm just going to talk about them. I think I got a text that can help us a little bit, but three major components here. Here's the first component. You have a spirit. You are a spirit. So let's think about this, right? A lot of times, you hear people talk about people, doing things in the spirit world where we are a spirit. You're a spirit, I'm a spirit. That's the first component that God gave you. This is the essence of who you are. This is the essence of what he created. This is the image part. This is what he gave us. He gave you a spirit, which is the first component, and then he gave you a body. So the second component is the body. So the body is this vessel that your spirit is housed in. Then the third component is your soul. Ooh, the soul. The soul is the most important piece of these three components. And why would I say that? Here's why. Because right now, the battle for your life is for your soul. It's for your soul. It's not for the spirit, and it's not for the body. See, because if the soul is one, then the body and the spirit will follow. I ask my kids all the time, and I'll ask them a question. Hey, why'd you do that? And they would say, I don't know. Now, I call that a lazy answer most of the time, but when they say they don't know, they're just kind of speaking and from the point of who they believe they are at this moment. And right now, maybe that thing that they did that they shouldn't have done, did it automatically. They did it automatically. They know they shouldn't do it. Think about this. You know you shouldn't do something, but you still do it. So that says that your body and your spirit doesn't have control over what's deep down inside. And what's deep down inside is your soul. And so right now, you and I are in a war. I did my first ever, I guess I did a talk at church. First time, I guess it's been 2 years. And so I did this talk at church, and the talk at church was called The War You Never Saw Coming. And in this war, the battle is for your mind, is for your soul. See, right now, that's where the battle is being played. If you were to take a step back, I like to use this analogy where you take a step back and you look at your life. So you can look at, okay, what am I doing right now? Usually you can become aware of things that's going on or how you're feeling if you say, what's happening right now? What am I thinking? So take a step back from the hustle, the bustle, everything that's happening in real time. And I want you to start looking as if you're a third party. You start looking around saying, wait a second, how am I thinking today? How is this thinking getting me to where I want to go? And that's how you can start understanding what's deep down in your soul. See, that is the area that if God gets it, you'll follow him. And if the enemy gets it, you'll follow him. And you won't stop. Like the intellectual side of you, which is your spirit. See, your spirit would like, well, hey, I can understand, what you're saying. I can read the Bible. I know what it is, but the thing that's deep down inside, which is your soul. See, your soul is what we're fighting for. See, God is looking for people to surrender their soul. And so if you think you've surrendered, but then when you look at, man, I'm still getting angry at people, and I'm still saying bad things or thinking bad things about people, or I'm not even living out the truth that is in front of me. I'm not even allowing God to work in my life because I'm saying that, well, this is how I feel, and this person made me upset, so I don't want to let that feeling go. See, because you've been programmed. And so your soul, which is the main component of you, that is the connection to God. That's the one piece of you that, listen, God just can't control that. That's the will. See, in your will, that's like the strongest part of you, the will. No one can control the will except you. See, you have to choose to use your will. You have to choose to use your will for God, or you choose to use your will for something else. So when I thought of this time, I said, account for what you have. And I was looking at Matthew 5, and I was like, well, which one of these texts is going to help me out with this? So I looked at the Clear Word. I looked at I think the King James. I looked at the New International. I looked at the Message, and I looked at the Message, and I said, Matthew 5, verse 8. It says, you're blessed when you get your inside world, your mind and heart. See, mind is your spirit, heart is your soul, put right. You're blessed when you get your inside world, your mind and heart, put right. Then you can see God in the outside world. I'm going to read that one more time. This is in the Message, Matthew 5:8. You're blessed when you get your inside world, your mind, which is your spirit. That's the intellectual piece of you. That's you. And then the heart, which is your soul, put right. When you get your mind, intellectual, and soul put right, then you can see God in the outside world. Man, I'm gonna tell you. When I turned to this text, something said, go to Matthew 5 this morning. You're going to find this text, because I was thinking about something I was thinking about accountability, but then I said, wait a second, let's account for what you already have. And you have a soul. See, in your soul, deep down in your soul, there's something in there that connects you directly to God. I'm talking about direct. See, in the spirit, your spirit can only be connected to God if it's deep down. See, if it's not deep down in your soul, then you're not going to be connected. And you may not find out your purpose. You may not find out, who you really should be in your life. You may not even understand where you come from. See, because if you understood where you come from, being made in the image and the likeness of God himself, you would understand that you would need to surrender your heart, your soul over to him. See, because right now, here's the battle. In that first sermon that I did, and I called it the war. I'm sorry, the war you never saw coming. It's the battle for your mind, the battle for the inside. Hey, man, because wherever your soul is planted, your mind and your body will follow. I'm gonna tell you, I can think about all of the things, the sins that I've committed, and say, man, my soul was connected to the enemy. It was not connected to God, because God can only help you to do right. I can only do this program right now because I'm connected in my soul to him. That's the only reason I thought of the text. Like literally, he says, Matthew 5, go there. Start reading those Beatitudes. Go there. Read these as a kid. Didn't even understand. He says, blessed are all the poor in spirit, for they shall see God. Poor in spirit. That don't even, when you think about what that says, poor in spirit, I got to really study that, because that's not what you think it is. Just like blessed are the meek, so they will inherit the earth. The meek sounds weak. No, the meek are diligent people. They are great managers. They are doing what is right. They're going to inherit everything, the whole earth. So you can't inherit the earth if you're not diligent. And if you're not diligent, you're probably not going to account for what you already have. You got a soul that you can connect directly to God. A soul. You also have this. This spirit inside of you. That's you, the essence, the, you know, um, it, you know, trying to explain the spirit of yourself. Like you really have to go on a discovery of accounting for what you have. You really do, because if you don't go on a discovery of yourself, then you'll miss out. Okay, my purpose. Who am I? Where am I going? Where am I from? What can I do? Like these are major questions that we must answer as we are thinking about accounting for what we have. I was talking to some young folks on Friday evening, and I was sharing a story with them about thinking. And I shared a story about how there was a man that got his PhD in thinking. Because I asked him, hey, does anyone know how to think? And he was like, of course, I go to school and I think every day. I said, do you really think every day? Do you really think every day? See, thinking in most cases is not what you think it is. See, thinking requires you to stop. Because if you on autopilot, when you go and you brush your teeth and you put your clothes on and you take a shower, you drive the car, you're not even thinking. It's done. Thinking it's already passed, because you learned it. It got deposited down into your soul. You no longer have to think about it. That's how it works. You put your shoes on. You don't have to think about how to put those shoes on. You tie your strings. You don't have to worry about figuring out how to tie your strings. Think about, there's plenty of things I have to think about. Every time I go, well, I'm not going to say every time I go into the kitchen, I have to think, but usually I have to think to come up with a strategy on how I'm going to get this meal prepared faster, or how I'm going to take, less ingredients and make something still taste good. I have to think about it. Now, once I get the thought going, then I can use what's already been planted and just whip through the meal, make it. But I have to think. So when I say, have you thought today, it means that's when you have to stop and start thinking like, okay, how do I do this? If you got a problem, how do I get out of this problem? I've got some problems that it's kind of like, you're in math class and you're trying to solve this. Like, I don't know how to do algebra yet, or I don't know how to do trigonometry. I don't know how to do, advanced, math. But when you got a problem, that's the equivalent of a math equation where you've got problem plus solution Problem plus solution equals result. So think about the results that you want in your life. I'll tell you, I've been working on my finances for a little while, working on solving this problem of, okay, what's gone wrong in my problem? I know what the problem is. What is the solution? And here's the thing about this. Here's the thing about this one. It's deep down inside. Sometimes we think, oh, let me go learn this new tactic. You got to get underneath and find out what's causing this problem. What's underneath? Like, I'm so aware of how I feel a lot of days. I can feel when my body composition is changing. I can feel, like, sometimes I get tingly, especially when I feel good and I'm saying something. I feel like I'm being led by the Spirit. Like, literally, I feel the tingling. And so you got to get down deep inside and say, okay, what's down in my soul that has caused this problem? What's caused it? Because you got to get to that, because once you get to that, then you do the solution. There's some coaching courses that I've taken, and one of the main focuses in the very beginning of the coaching is, wait, you got to get your mind right. You got to get your mind and your heart right. They don't say mind and heart, but that's what I'll tell you. You got to get your mind and your heart right. See, because you will not fix the problem until your mind and your heart gets right. And I'm gonna tell you, this is a problem right now. This is my problem. I'm telling you what it is. I have a financial problem. Meaning I'm trying to go from one place to another. I'm at, and I haven't been able to jump. But I'm gonna tell you, this past week, I've been figuring it out. Accountability. Account for what you have. That's one of the first things. You must account for what you have. If you're always looking at what you don't have, then you won't get what you want. So I said, now let me look at me. What do I have? There's another text over here in the Beatitudes, and it talks about this. Where is it at? You're blessed. Oh, this is beautiful. Oh, this is verse 5. You're blessed when you're content with who you are. No more, no less. That's the moment you find yourselves proud owners of everything that can't be bought. This is Matthew 5:5. This is blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. That's what the message says. You're blessed when you're content with just who you are. Who are you? You know who you are. You're content with it because God gave it to you. No more, no less. That's the moment you find yourself proud owners of everything that can't be bought. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth, is what that says in the King James. That's what we learned when we was kids. You had no understanding of it. None. Account for what you have. You got to understand your spirit, which is your mind, your spirit. That's you. That's the essence. Your body. See, your body does everything the mind, your spirit, and the soul will tell it. But here's the thing, your body only listens to your soul. I'm gonna tell you, this is something that we can talk about and talk about and talk about for a while. But it's going to take some time to really understand that your spirit and your soul, once you can get those two on the same page, your body will do. I'm talking about that's when your life is going to seriously explode. That's when my life is starting to explode right now today, as I'm understanding accountability, accounting for what I have in the spirit that God gave me, in the soul that's connected to him, and how he's going to allow me to tap into him so that I can push my body to do all that he wants me to do. Account for what you have today. Go back and check out these Beatitudes. Check out Matthew 5:5 and Matthew 5:8. Read them in the message. The message in verse 8, it says, "You're blessed when you get your inside world, mind and heart, spirit and soul put right. Then you can see God. Then you can see God in the outside world, because you will not be connected to God in your soul where you should be if you don't get your mind and your heart put right." So that's your challenge today, guys. That is what you must consider. That is what you must do. That is what you must think on all day today. Think on getting your inside world, your mind and heart put right. When you get those two put right, then and only then you will see God on the outside. All right, guys, I thank you so much for joining me today for Account for What You Have here on the Enlightenment series. Look, if you haven't already liked our page or subscribed to our channel, I would say please subscribe, like, share, comment, let us know. Let me know, what value you got from this program today. And look, I'm just so thankful that you came, because I know that because you came, you learned something. God Himself shared something with you that you didn't know. And that's exciting for me, that He's using me. My soul is connected, and He's using me in a way that only He can do. So thank you so much for joining me. And I look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow. God bless you. Take care.